Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and long time no see. We missed you all. We are so sorry for the late podcast. We know it's been a hot, stinking minute, and we apologize. Last week, my headset decided that it'd be a great idea not to, let me speak or even hear individuals.
Their headset has died. It has ceased to be. It has run up the curtain and joined the choir invisible. In short, it was an X headset.
Oh my god. But anywho. But yeah, but no. So, again...
I've been recently watching, or rewatching Monty Python.
Yes, you were watching Monty Python.
Hello. I do want everyone to know is it is great to be back. I didn't mean to say it like that, like I'm Tony the fucking Tiger. But yes, I am your big Oni sis Kala Nevermelt, and this is our podcast. And sadly, Abyssal is not here. He is still continuing war crimes on Uranus.
I don't know. Is Uranus like? I don't think Uranus is really important in the Warhammer universe.
Stream on, by the way.
Yes.
Yep.
The stream.
In the voice chat.
Oh, right. Whoopsie daisy. I'm sorry. Hold on just one teeny tiny second while I'm doing this. Erica, make your introductions, please. Don't be shy, Erica.
Greetings and salutations. I am Erica Ironblood. I could be your angel, but I would rather be your devil. Hopefully everyone has had a safe and wonderful start to this new year, as some people in the northern Americas are suffering from a devastating blizzard. I hope that you do not... you are being safe during this extreme weather conditions and are taking precautions and measures to ensure the well-being of yourselves. I do not know why I've changed to some Actually, was that an actual person or is that just a
Oh no
thing
no,
that
that
people?
was the podcast thingy that
Is there like an
just
actual person from like the 1950s,
I'm pretty sure it
1960s?
was and they you
Okay,
yeah, but
I
you
was
Alex.
I was doing him. Okay.
Yes, but Alex.
I thought you sounded like I thought you sounded like Nixon.
I
What?
am not a
No, I was doing an
criminal.
impression of There was like this new. It was like one of Robin Williams's impressions in both Good Morning Vietnam and in the third Aladdin movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
Where
anywho,
Well,
where
Alex.
he had like a big head and like chubby looking lips. No, not lips. Cheeks. Cheeks.
Alex,
okay.
your turn.
um.
I said lips.
God. Apologies. It's running a little bit rusty at this. You know what? Fuck it. It's your fellow dishwasher cowboy here, and I'm over here washing my dishes.
Nice, nice. Now then, first and foremost again, deepest apologies, and yes, please be safe out there with this winter storm about to teabag us all, but also remember that the weatherman likes to exaggerate a lot to make you shit yourself, so please do not feel the need to overbuy toilet paper and all that crap as if this is the Armageddon and we're all going to die.
You should probably stock up on canned soups, but don't do Campbell's, because, well, I mean, if you want to, you can buy Campbell's.
Isn't Campbell's fake ass shit?
Um, it's more their ethics that I have an issue with, but yeah, they tend to put a lot of salt and shit in their stuff.
But anywho. Again, episode is not here sadly, but though, oh, well, he might be a little bit later, so hopefully we'll take a watch out for him. Which means I have all the pictures and stuff like that. But, first and foremost, 'tis tradition for us to always talk about the anime of the day. And ladies and gentlemen, this season alone is fantastic. We have 'Tis Time for Torture Princess Season 2, a very wholesome, feel-good anime I highly recommend. And we
Don't
also
torture me, Princess Nagatoro. I don't fucking know.
and we also have Chained Soldier, and it is starting off hot as hell. Again, very wholesome scenes.
There's nothing on the main screen.
Huh? Oh, no, no,
Looking
no, no,
at.
no, 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 no. I'm just making honorary mentions. Honorary mentions. Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes, yes,
okay,
yes, yes.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just making honorary mentions so people can take a looky-loo. But the one I wanted to show everyone, though, is not since it's, we already
She love you, baby.
is
Oh, never mind.
Ka-
Oh, this is.
mm-hmm.
Fuck, I forgot her name.
Kia Chan is
Kid
not
Fun.
Kaya. That's,
Kaya,
Yeah,
Kaya,
Kaya
Kaya,
Chan
Kaya.
isn't scary.
Kaya Chan isn't
If
scary.
Ghost Sweeper Mikami is Lady Ghostbuster, this one is Loli Ghostbuster.
Now, one thing to also note here is, yes, this has the same kind of sort of premise as Dark Gathering, but I'm gonna be real with you. This is a much better story. I don't know. I think with Dark Gathering, it's kind of overstating its welcome a little bit.
What's Dark Gathering about?
Okay, Dark Gathers about this girl whose parents died in a car crash, and because of the crash, it wasn't an accident, it was an actual ghost that did it, and now she has these cool, neat little freaky eyeballs that look like skulls, and she can see dead people, and, she basically kills ghosts. She also later uses the ghost like a Pokemon, and it's kind of like jumping the shark, but with this, though, this is about this little innocent girl who just so happens to be an exorcist. She's in, kindergarten, I
She's
believe.
just a powerful psychic that happens to be a kindergartner. She's able to see ghosts. And she ends up she has to fight the ghosts even though other kids can't see them and just think she's a meanie. It's like when it's not actually her, it's the ghosts. There's a very funny thing that happens in the manga where it's like a report on Kaya's behavior, and it's like she's just staring up at the ceiling. Why is she staring at the ceiling? That's not the ceiling.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I do love it. I also love the other characters like the teacher and also the friends. I will say this though, in episode 2, oh my god, seriously, you couldn't have gone into the other fucking stall. Like you had to go into that one. You could have just went to any of the other stalls, but no, you had to
The
use.
one with the don't enter tape all across it is that.
Like
To be fair, they are like kids, and kids don't have at that point in their lives they don't have a lot of cognitive ability to think ahead or think about certain actions. Like literally, they're at the age where they need to. They will try to touch the stove when it's still on, and be like, "Oh my gosh, why did it hurt me, mommy?" And mom has to be like, "Well, that's when the stove is on. It gets really, really hot."
dumbass. I should have.
Right.
But
It,
anyway,
it's
but
definitely one of those things where it's pretty apparent that despite Kaya being really strong, she is still in kindergarten, and there is a part where she almost gets electrocuted because of a ghost that was intentionally trying to trick her, and she almost does it before the teacher basically catches her.
Oh yeah,
Thankfully,
yeah, I remember that from the manga.
mm-hmm.
yeah,
And also there's a
and
nice little plot that involves the mother, so kinda interesting. I don't want to be spoiled. The only character I don't like is the fat, greasy, weirdo guy. I'm sorry, he just I don't like him at all. Mostly because he's
I think it's kind of funny because it's like, it's kind of like a false like bait and switch essentially. You think this guy is gonna be this sort of character, but turns out, um, okay, wait, how far in the manga has the anime adapted?
okay, so basically, and since I can't say it on YouTube because they're stupid, basically, when one of her friends sees the woman looking at her, and it was hinted that the woman decided it'd be a great idea to become a human chandelier.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Well, we haven't gotten it to the part why that guy is like, um, is involved with Kaya.
Okay. But anywho, overall though,
Because
a
there is
really
like an actual like
okay.
reason why.
But overall though,
yeah.
this is a really good, interesting manga slash anime. Highly recommend it. Now, with that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin with today's plot. And today's plot is brought to you by
Celeste.
Revenge.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
revenge.
dish served cold, aka ice cream. Now,
Ah,
without the
yes, this is vengeance. Sweet, cold, makes sense to me.
now that with that being said, Erica, it is your turn. And also to
Okay,
those,
so,
well, hold on. To those in the audience who will say, "Oh wait, haven't we talked about it multiple times?" Yes, shut up. This is our pick on, the best revenge and why it's the best. Continue, Erica.
everybody, hush. This is our podcast. If you want, feel free to make your own podcast. Actually,
Exactly.
I definitely encourage it.
Yes.
Anyway, so Kill la Kill or Kira Kira. Um, if you're an asshole. um, you know the people who are insist on using the full Japanese name of a show, even if the anyway. So Kill la Kill, the plot, the main characters are driven by the vengeance. At first, it's just Ryuko who's like, I'm going to find out who killed my dad, and the only way I know how is the person who has the other half of my scissors. And then Sasuke is all like, oh, I see you have resolve and the ability to succeed, but I need to test you. And so she's like, I can tell you who killed your dad, but you will have to fight all my goons. And just Ryuka. But then, later, it turns out that Satsuki is also driven by revenge because, you know what? It's been out for like over 10 years. So Ryuko and Satsuki's father are actually the same person, and they were both killed by their mother. Um, so what? At first, these two characters they're driven by revenge, but they think they're wanting to revenge two different people. But then turns out, oh no, we are both avenging the same person.
Mm.
Man,
Ah, nice. Now, is there anything else?
nope. I've essentially explained both of these characters' motivations for doing what they do. I mean, originally Satsuki was also because she thought that Ryuko was dead. She's like, I'm also avenging the baby sister that you murdered, and then turns out, oh wait, Ryuko's that baby sister. Oh, okay.
Then.
It turns out that their mother is a horrible person.
Oh, yeah.
Yee. Now then, with that being said, it is my turn. And hold on, and got the package. Got the package. There you go. Yeah, but in here. So, Goblin Slayer. Dun dun. This needs no introductions, I'm pretty sure, since everyone knows Goblin Slayer. Or at least they know the controversy, either or. Oh, and also a fun
And
fact.
they also know of the Ball Buddy parody of Goblin Slayer.
Also, fun fact, Goblin Slayer, as well as the Sword Maiden and
The reason
Priest...
why Goblin Slayer is like this is because the mangaka wanted to fuck it, what was it? What was the exact reasons? Essentially, it's he doesn't want there to keep there. He wanted to create a world that he would not want to live in, basically.
But anyway,
Fair enough.
I probably butchered the actual what he said, but
yes.
I think that's the gist of
So,
it.
as I was saying, Goblin Slayer, another fun fact for you, Goblin Slayer, Priestess, and the Sword Maiden have all three appeared in Brown Dust 2. The very ecchi, very lewd, and very wholesome game that you can play, and also they decide to spine up and not listen to Steam or any of the losers who have an issue with, well, hot, attractive women. With that being said, Goblin Slayer is about this man who has no name, just like every other character. They go by their title. And the Goblin Slayer, mind you, is kind of looked down upon because everyone sees goblins as lowly, lame-ass, weak-ass monsters that aren't really shit in the grand scheme of things. However, though, he knows better because he knows for a fact that goblins can be the biggest threat that there is, and we've seen what they can do if they can't.
I got something to add later, but I'll let you finish first.
Alright. If they're not, killing you, they are giving you McDonald's frappe, unwillingly, since I can't say the word because YouTube again is a bitch. But yes, frappe. And as we
Something
see,
involving grapes.
yes. But as we see that, again, the Goblin Slayer, he knows why these things are a threat. And he understands that, hey, he needs to get stronger and basically handle them because, well, let's be honest, no one's really going to take these things seriously. No one wants to, do anything about about them, so he's going to take it upon himself to basically, make his whole life goal to kill every single goblin, because they killed his, if I recall correctly, they killed his sister, and he's like, hey, I took that personally, so I'm gonna wipe your entire species out. And to be fair, rightfully so, because we see that goblins are evil, disgusting, vile creatures that will give any female frappe whether they care for it or not. And also, they are just disgusting, and, well, in all fairness, the Goblin Slayer isn't wrong. They should be exterminated. At least these versions. Like, Slime Isekai, the goblins are cool, and, other anime where they're not, these things. But overall,
The
though.
good goblin is the goblin that stays in their hole.
But overall, though, this is a very good, manga slash anime. And yeah, the main dude, he has a vendetta against all goblins for a very specific reason. And I gotta say, it's kind of cool and it's enjoyable to watch. And Alex, what was the thing that you wanted to input?
Right. So the thing is that I did take a look at the what was it? It was basically a Goblin Slayer side story, just kind of like telling us kind of how he got started and other information and whatnot. So one of the things is that he was trained by another goblin that hated goblins.
None of the fuck,
So
my dude?
yeah, that was a thing. He was trained by a goblin to fight goblins.
Like, damn goblins. I just imagine this guy had the Uncle Ruckus voice.
Why does everyone keep saying that? The other thing is that it's not even only the goblins. There is a part in the story where everyone is fighting. They're trying to fight like a rock eater monster, basically, and they find out that the rock eater and the slimes are working together, and the slimes are really dangerous. Like they literally dissolve through a guy's head.
That is hella dangerous.
Yeah, so the fact that they underestimate goblins and this is happening, I kind of like wondering like, how did any of you guys survive this long?
Yeah, because here's the thing, it's like, yeah, sure, a goblin can't fucking bench. We're not going to see a power lifter goblin, but like, you know they can still be vicious little assholes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's like several times where the goblins are underestimated by the adventurers, and they basically get their shit rocked.
Like the first episode where wholesome things happen to the woman.
And the thing is that the receptionist knows, like, because there's people who go missing from these quests.
Mm-hmm. But anywho.
So it's really it's
yeah.
really messed up.
But anywho, that was my pick for the Revenge. Again, a guy just hates motherfucking goblins because vendetta, and he's gonna make it the goblins' problem. Alright, it is now your turn.
Okay. So it's been a while since I watched this anime, so I don't remember a whole lot of names, but I can probably get through describing the plot and stuff. So 91 Days is about the main character basically going through the most traumatic thing in his life. His family is killed, and basically they had a out on them by a partner of the father, I believe, and basically he ends up escaping, and one of the people that sees him escape actually didn't shoot him like they were supposed to. So, and then technically comes, and I guess it comes back to bite them later. That makes sense. So the main character's out on a mission to basically destroy this entire family for the sole reason of getting revenge for his family. And it's definitely a roller coaster because he has to do several things to kind of like get in their graces and whatnot. Because he ends up joining the family and stuff, and we're destroying them from the inside out. And he basically starts with basically making his own. What was it? Basically, the time period that this takes place in is the Prohibition period. So yeah, he's making his own like beer or
Oh, Alex, I don't want to interrupt you, but someone's in the chat for you. Hi, Aisha.
oh Aisha, hey man,
The
Aisha, that's
Mournful
Aisha.
Blade?
huh?
There's a character from a video game called Aisha the Mournful Blade. I was just making a joke.
Ah.
Oh, it's fine.
But in here, continue, Alex.
Yeah. So it's during the Prohibition period, so there's like beer and stuff and whatnot, just alcohol drinks and stuff. Apparently, the alcohol he makes is like really good. And essentially, the plot is that throughout the whole story, he's getting further and further like up. I guess you could say getting more trust from the people in the mafia and stuff, while also manipulating certain things behind the scenes. And it's also kind of a question of whether or not, at what point, like, is this enough, or should he keep going and stuff like that, you know? And he does have a best friend that's kind of like joining him on this quest, but he's also kind of hesitant about it because he's not sure if this will turn out okay. Because I mean, as soon as something bad happens, they're fucked. Like like it's the mafia that they're pretty much fucked if something goes wrong. And it's definitely one of those stories where you where the revenge is like going well, and then things kind of go wrong and start to fall apart, and at that point, well, you really have nothing else to lose. And well, the main character tells the guy that refused to shoot him, he wish he did.
Mm. Is that it?
I don't know how I described it. It was vague or not. Hopefully, it was descriptive.
And I did a good job. Alright, let us continue. Erika?
So this is Hughie Zaravire. A bit of spoilers for anyone who wanted to watch Super Heavyweight God Gravion, including the second season Gravion Zwei. So basically, a long ass fucking time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there were these two planets that were very close to each other and had depleted all of their resources and had a population crisis. Klein Sandman, I forget his actual name, wanted to use his Gravion, basically gravity-based technology in order to help help. I don't really know what exactly, but basically Hughie decided create a race of constantly evolving biomechanical robots, essentially, that just kill everything on a planet and then decompose into hyper fertilizer in order to bring life back to the world, essentially. Hughie, Sandman basically was like, this is a terrible idea because literally they're called genocide shots, by the way. It's like, why would you? So something happened that caused the Genocidetrons, the Zaravires, to essentially wipe out life on both planets, not just one planet. And essentially Hughie, who has turned himself into like an android or a cyborg, has decided that it wasn't because of his lack of foresight. It is clearly my brother-in-law's his fault. So I'm gonna send my robots out to basically destroy essentially hunt him down, basically. So this guy, because he thinks that, because I believe his wife died in the attack, and he essentially created a artificial, like an android version of her, which is the woman that's near him, embracing him in this shot. So the whole conflict in the show, Gravion, basically, um, Sandman has this giant robot that uses the power of gravity in order to destroy the Zeravirus. Because the whole reason the Zeravirus are attacking Earth and trying to essentially exterminate humanity is because this motherfucker believes that Sandman is responsible for the death of his wife, and I guess also everyone on both planets. Um, so he's essentially wanting to just kill everything on Earth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
As kind of really stupid, but also it's like kind of corny. You
A
know.
bit extreme, if you ask me.
Yeah, to be fair, he's like just completely lost it. So that's an example of revenge basically consuming you, and essentially you lose your whole sense of self.
You lose your
Yes,
humanity.
I mean,
yes, he
yeah,
killed his
literally.
waifu, and then performed
And
revenge.
yeah, yep.
Also, hi, demon. Welcome. But, alright. Now then, let us continue.
Yep.
With Hulk. If I'm not mistaken, this came out last year, if not 2 years ago. I don't know the exact time frame. But Hulk is kind of a revenge story turned on its head. Because normally you expect that the human character had a family who was killed by, demons, and so he wants to kill the demon lord and all demons because, blah blah blah, obvious trope here. But no, Hulk actually knows that humanity is really, really the biggest piece of shit, and decided, hey, I'm gonna go on the other team and totally fuck you guys up. And mind you, Hulk is a great, nice individual. I hate saying nice guy, but a nice individual. He's kind, he's wholesome, he's
Nice
caring.
guy.
But like he cares for everyone, and yet the reason he has a issue with with humans is because, well, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but just know that humans decided, well, he has this special power and stuff like that, and well, let's just say humanity is very fucked in the head, and he's seen the evils of humanity. He's seen what they can do wrong. Meanwhile, when it comes to demons, in all fairness, I don't recall, at least in anime anyway, there's any been a demon that's like, hey, I sure do want to, do evil demon genocide stuff right now. So he appears at this, tournament, and the girl there is kind of confused. What the hell is there a human here? And at first she hates him, because that's how these stories kind of work. Like, what is your game here? What is your goal? What are you up to? But of course, friendship no jutsu happens, and they bond. And it turns out that, hey, he really isn't that bad of a guy, and again, he has his reasons as to why he wants. Oh, and also, his power is basically the hero's power, aka it gives him like super strength and things like that. And overall, this is a really good anime. I hope it gets a season 2. And I need to probably read the manga. But no, this was an interesting story. It's an interesting twist on the whole revenge story where the hero, the human anyway, instead of wanting to kill demons, instead joins the other side to fuck over the humans. But granted, there's a reason for it. I didn't want to spoil it for you, but yeah. Now then, with that being said, Alex.
Oh, it's already my turn already?
Mm-hmm.
let me see what I'm looking at here. Oh, it's Prison Lab. Okay. So I probably talked about Prison Lab um, before on a different episode. So Prison Lab is basically about the main character. I'll call him Aito. He's been bullied for 3 years, since middle school by a girl named I think her name is Aya Kirishima. Um, and essentially he's fed up with being bullied and stuff like that. Doesn't know how much more he can take of it. And then he gets invited to a game where he gets to imprison someone that he wants to essentially, well, torture. And if the person doesn't guess his name in a certain amount of days, he wins a 10 million yen prize. And if the person that he's participating with uh, basically guesses his name, they win the 10 million yen, and he has to pay uh, he has to pay a debt of 10 million yen. And basically that's kind of what the premise is. Um, I had mixed feelings about like certain things and whatnot because I was under the impression that like at least looking at the latter half of the volume covers, whereas like the Aya and the Aito were like romantically involved, and I was like, that's a little weird. Like the girl that's bullying, that's having this guy get bullied and stuff like that. And I was also kind of just like, I was kind of pissed at her due to her reason for the reason for her to bully this guy because this guy literally did nothing wrong. He literally did nothing wrong. Like literally, essentially what happens is that Aya was basically her dad basically had her um well I guess basically it basically invited her to be raped by some folks that were paying him, and she ends up killing her dad, and basically her dad ends up getting like, well, no, she didn't kill her dad, but someone else did, and then to basically clean up his body and stuff like that. And after this incident, she like changes completely and sets up a trap to where the main guy uh gets accused of being a stalker, and essentially that's why he was being bullied and stuff like that. The folks thought he was a stalker because Aya said so and whatnot. And her reasoning for him being bullied is basically, well, I got stronger. Well, now I can make him stronger too. And I'm like, what? Like, huh? What do you mean? Like, how is this going to make him stronger? And like throughout the chapters and stuff, I'm just wondering to myself, like, yeah, he's totally getting stronger by essentially she's put herself in a situation to where this guy is like he has it out for her and stuff like that, and he doesn't know why he was even bullied in the first place, and it's hard to it's really frustrating to watch because I'm like I because at first I was really angry at her for her reasoning and stuff like that, and then at the same time I'm kind of like thinking I'm kind of like because I started rereading it again, certain things were kind of like uh what's the word I remember certain details, and then I kind of came to the conclusion that it's really hard to blame her entirely, entirely, but at the same time, it's still also her fault that was totally her fault there with the bullying stuff. I feel sorry for her, for what happened to her, but I don't think her idea of like making someone stronger is that you should have them get bullied until they just like until they just like suddenly it's like, yeah, I'm stronger now. We can totally get back to being friends and stuff like that, like before. and and that's essentially her plan. Is that that he'll get stronger, and then they get to go back to being get to go back to how things were before. And I'm like, things are probably not gonna go back to the way they were before. Like yeah. And it's not even just him that's getting like revenge and stuff like that. Um, it's also like other people that are also participating. Although one of them is basically like, well, she was already a complete psycho already. Um, there's another guy that's getting revenge for his daughter that was also um raped and stuff like that. And it turns out that the same people who raped Aya are the same folks that raped his daughter. So that was that was interesting, and it also seems like there's a connection to the game. Like they kind of set this whole thing up somehow, but I haven't really gone further into like determine that. But essentially, like everyone, as far as like themes go in the series, essentially everyone has something going on or something that happened in their life that they're upset about. It was very unreasonable, as the series likes to as the series likes to explain and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I I feel like it's really complicated. 'Cause like I said, I was like kind of angry before, but then I kind of started to realize, it's kind of is really complicated. I'm not really sure. Obviously, I think that Aya's in the wrong, but at the same time, just like this whole situation is kind of fucked, to be honest.
Alright. Said it.
Is that it? Yeah, just a couple more thoughts, of course. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's definitely as a revenge story and stuff like that. It's definitely a kind of feels like a lesson on like uh what revenge can do and the kind of thing it starts. It kind of starts like a cycle of events and stuff like that, unless someone decides to go ahead and break it, you know.
Mm.
But and that it really is a complicated situation. So it's hard for me to kind of like say that, oh, this person's in the wrong, this person's in the wrong, so like that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Mm.
I mean, in fairness, I need to watch the actual, anime to, or read the manga anyway.
Um, yeah, it's manga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
fair enough. Fair enough.
alright, cool.
Alright, hold on,
Yeah.
let me. So, this is Mari Su. Um, she is a character in the light novel, manga, and anime series Yojo Senki. I call it that because the localized version of the name is not really, is kind of a mis. They kind of fumbled the bag on the translation of the original title. It's supposed to be Military Chronicles of a Young Girl, but I guess they figured, oh, that doesn't accurately describe the series though, so we're gonna call it Saga of Tanya the Evil. When the whole
Well,
point is supposed to be like deceptive. You have this sweet little girl, and turns out she's cold, calculating, and trying desperately to get a fucking desk job.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Mary Sue. So in the first I haven't like read the light novel, and I've slowly but surely been reading the manga, but I have watched the first season of the anime as well as the movie and OVA. So basically, Tanya ends up killing Mary's dad, who is in the war. So essentially, um, this is an isekai,
yes.
and the main character has been reincarnated in an alternate version of World War One, where it has continued until it's basically gone on for a lot longer. and there's also magic and a little bit more advanced technology and stuff.
Right.
Anyway, Mary, um, because her dad is killed, Mary is like, I'm going to join the war in order to avenge my father. Unfortunately, so a lot of conflict in this universe is actually um, created by God or Being X. Actually, I think it would be better to call him Being X because not just because that's what Anya calls him, but like, holy fuck, this guy is just petty as shit. Like, he's like, Anyway, basically, Being X has for a lot of times been forcibly either basically influencing people in order to create conflict and danger in order to force Tanya to essentially develop a sense of faith because Tanya is like uh, agnostic at best, atheist at worst, essentially. Like, she basically does not believe in God, or at the very least, if there is a God, um, this figure that is calling himself God is not him. And so basically, Being X has done like a bunch of shit in order to just put Tanya in more and more perilous situations. And Mary Sue is essentially a victim. Basically, Being X is just forcibly like injected its like power into Mary, forcing her to just making her anger just override any potential reason. I assume if she was just a normal person, she would be like, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna defeat this person and you know win this war. But because of Being X's influence, she is just blinded by rage and just throughout the movie she's just flying off and just trying to immediately just kill Tanya.
Shooting fucking laser beams.
Yeah, and
Laser.
actually at the end, and even so, the series has not caught up to this point, but in the light novel, eventually she becomes so much of a loose cannon and so much of a liability that her own oh fuck, is it okay? The light novel's been out for a long time.
I mean,
What?
it's missing content from the movie. Go ahead.
Um, oh no, this is like after the movie though.
Oh.
Event,
I mean, they might talk about it in the next season. Not
I
sure,
mean, it
but
probably would be something that happens in the next season. So yeah,
but
essentially.
it should be fine. It's just a minor detail.
No, it's literally how Mary ends up getting offed.
Oh, well, don't spoil it then.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil that. Essentially, has she wants revenge, but because of Being X's influence, it has just been intensified to an insane degree, where as soon as she even like remotely senses Tanya, she's just immediately, I must avenge my father and kill the devil of the Rhine. Or, you know, I must,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
because Being X is like, I am going to put this person into so much danger, they will surely develop a sense of faith.
E.
And Tanya is just like, I just want a desk job in the rear where I'll be safe. Please, why does this always happen to me?
Hmm.
It's like, so
I mean, she was winning the war for them, so I mean,
yeah, and it's also very funny because she doesn't understand how her actions are perceived by others. She's like, they will see that I am a valuable asset and a much better alive than on risking myself on the front lines. And they're like, oh my gosh, she's an amazing asset. We need her out there in the field fighting. It's like, it's just so funny.
I mean, they're really good at it. So
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, but yeah, that's Mary Sue. Um, um, yeah, she's both a both an antagonist but also a victim of essentially a godlike entity just treating people like uh, essentially it could be described as just
Puppets.
like I was gonna say toy figure like toy soldiers or something like that.
Mm.
Oh, like
Essentially,
Nutcrackers.
oh, funny you mentioned that because that's like a very common form that Being X decides to take for some reason. Say, there's like this really funny GIF of Tanya just drop kicking a Nutcracker. It's so funny. It's the Chibi Tanya from Isekai Quartet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alright then.
essentially that's Mary Sue.
Alright, my turn. And I believe his name was Eren from Attack on Titan. Now this one, I'm gonna be real with you. It's kind of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Cause honestly, in fairness, he did say in the beginning he wants to kill all Titans. You know, very noble. I mean, he saw his mom get turned into a snack treat. You know, and he of course has PTSD. And he's like, man, I really hate Titans. He's kind of like the Goblin Slayer, where the Goblin Slayer was totally chill until the Goblins decided it would be a great idea to do unspeakable things to his family. And he's like, you know what? My whole life is going to be about killing you. So here, Eren, I believe that's how you say his name, is like, hey, I'm going to kill you guys because, I hate you. And you killed my mother, you are basically a pain in the ass, you have no purpose. And as the first time this dude gets the chance to smoke a Titan, he sadly gets turned into a snack. But it turns out that because of main character shenanigans, he became a fucking Titan, and it's now he's become the very thing that he has hated. And this guy, he's kind of different than, Goblin Slayer, because Goblin Slayer, or yeah, sure, you could say a thing about how he was trained by Goblin, was kind of, nunny the hell, but at least the Goblin Slayer remained human. Eren decided that in order to kill the thing that he hated, granted he didn't choose it per se, he became the thing that he hated. And I'm gonna be real with you, while it was cool and great the first half, towards the end it kind of started getting a bit wibbly wobbly, and I was not a huge fan of it. But overall,
Being
though,
timey wimey.
yes. But overall, though, this was an interesting take on revenge. In order to, kill the thing that you hate, one must become the thing that he hates. And honestly, it was a pretty neat idea. Granted, it's like he kind of chilled out due to, well, those other titans like him who were like, hey, nah, let's not, be going on a rampage, killing people and shit like that. But overall, though, this was a pretty good manga slash anime. I remember when it first came out, people really did enjoy it. But again, towards the end, it kind of And everyone loved the big-headed Titan. That was sarcasm, by the way, because I know everyone believes that was the worst Titan imaginable. Now, that being said,
I just said that hot take. I never liked to hear him.
but anyway, Alex,
I don't know if it's a hot take.
it's okay. Everyone has a right to take.
By the way, because this has been bothering me. I don't know how long I was going on about Prison Land. I hope it wasn't too long.
Mm.
Oh, no, you're good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anyway,
Okay, so shoot. Okay, so this manga isn't actually out well, no, it's out. The manga is out, but there is no translations for it. I tried to. There is a page on the site that I look this stuff up and read at. They they don't have any translations for it, and that's a bummer because I really wanted to read it. But I did watch one of those recap manga videos that have been going around on YouTube for a bit, uh, and I got the gist of the plot and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I can't remember what the title was called. I think it was like called the Holy Maiden was killed and dumped in a well and became a cheat ghost for her revenge, something like that. You can just call it cheat ghost or uh, the Holy Maiden is dead or something like that. But so the plot is basically that a holy or I guess a priestess, in a sense, the priestess is killed by her own party members because they really like the hero, this one guy in the party. God, I feel like I've seen multiple stories like that where it's like, oh, this girl is seducing our hero. We can't have that. We can't have this skink in our party. Yeah, so they end up like abandoning her and dumping her down a well, and afterwards they end up saving the world. Kinda, quote unquote, save the world, quote unquote. Uh, yeah. So essentially, they basically get away with murdering her and going and basically living out their lives and stuff like that. Like the guy essentially marries all three of them, I think,
Like a
and
boss.
yeah. And what happens later is that essentially the Holy Maiden becomes a ghost and basically haunts them and causes like misfortune around them and stuff like that. So, and part of the reason is also because of the fact that, well, their mission to basically like I guess slay the demon lord stuff like that. Yeah, they needed the Holy Maiden for that, and they also
Oh,
needed it for other things too. So as soon as they find out that so as soon as as soon as they basically you know kind of complete their task and stuff like that, there's things that are left over that basically kind of start to screw over the world because people run impression, hey, you killed the demon lord, right? Like, yeah, we killed the demon lord and stuff, but we also they also didn't do it with the Holy Maiden, who had purification, which is a very important skill that they needed. And
oh,
it kind of starts with a plague happening in the village that they live in. One of the wives essentially is giving birth to I think a child and stuff like that, and the child is like I think the child ends up being misshapen, but I think before that, she's basically like haunted by the priestess, and she's basically she's just losing her mind because she's like kind of like feeling the weight of certain things like how she feels about the hero paying more attention to the other girls than her, um things about like her looks and other things like that.
hmm.
Like these are very vain people for sure, but the fact that she's like going insane kind of makes the hero like ugh, I don't want to deal with all that. So, and and when she gives birth to this baby, she basically kills the baby because she was having nightmares about her baby being misshapen, and well, yeah, that happened. Her baby was actually probably fine, to be honest. I think she was hallucinating, and what happens to her is basically she was so traumatized by this, she basically like takes care of a doll instead of her actual baby. Yeah. Um. Let's see. What's the other one? I think one of the other ones was an elf, and I think essentially what the elf like runs into like some bandits and stuff like that, and she tries to take care of them on her own. But I think she like loses some of her powers or something like that. I don't think that's right. God, I really wish this manga was translated by now, because I would have been reading it, catching up on stuff. I actually did have a video on standby, but because we waited so long to like get around to doing this episode, I I never got around to actually recapping on some things to
Mhm.
remember everything that happened. But yeah, essentially the hero's fucked up. Things are happening because of their actions, and it's affecting the world. The priestess, as basically a ghost, revenge ghost, is really, really strong, and she's causing a lot of things to happen to where it's making the protagonist miserable. And I guess I like this particular revenge story is that the main character's dead. She's essentially dead, and she's basically an Onryo just seeking revenge on these
Mhm.
guys and just making their lives miserable. And I think that's really fascinating because we're taking the point of view of the villains basically. We're taking the point of view of the villains and how this is affecting them mentally and physically.
Mm.
Mhm.
Alright
Yeah.
then. Well, overall though, sadly I wished episode did make it, but sadly it just seems he is here. And honestly, I do gotta get dinner ready and whatnot. So,
I see.
mm-hmm. So, with all that being said though, I hope everyone in the comments, thank you guys for joining us. It was fantastic. And I hope you all enjoyed the manga that we've listed. Next week, I think I will have it be where we discuss manga that people need to read. Because this is one manga I believe people need to look at because it's really good and it deserves to be loved and praised. Because it could be, I'm not going to say the next big thing, but it could be something that is big. Like maybe not One Piece level big, but you know, something where I don't know, would My Hero Academia be it? Like maybe Chainsaw Man. But anywho, overall though, this was a really great episode. I'm glad you guys could join me. And in conclusion, revenge is a dish best served cold, and these animes were
Revenge,
fantastic.
revenge is fine, just don't let it consume you.
Mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
Alex, you got any in conclusions?
Um, I didn't mention it before, but I've read a bunch of revenge stories. I really started to read some of them, and for sure, a lot of them kind of like. I think the problem with some revenge stories is that they end up losing steam after a while. Like after you kind of like get the gist of what the premise is and stuff like that, it goes on for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just starts to kind of go on for a little bit longer than it necessarily needs to, and you're kind of wondering what's going to keep you like engaged with the story and stuff like that.
And
And yeah,
in
and there's definitely some stories that definitely do it to where it keeps you engaged throughout the story. Um, because I mean, at least I'm still engaged with Prison Lab with the. I mean, despite the really the antics that go on in that one, um, but I'm kind of curious about like what the organization that set everything up is doing and whatnot.
mm-hmm.
Also, I can also link the recap video
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
if
But
anyone wants to watch it, just to
alright.
kind of get like experience the story I was talking about.
Alright. Well, alright everyone, thank you for coming. Bye.